educate my neighbors and my friends. And we here in Ohio really need to step up the pace. And that's why why the beginnings and the makings of the two of us talking and saying, we need to let people know how simple this is. Or, you know, talk to people. I'm in the book.
Mm-hmm.
You in the book?
I don't know.
She's on the television. I'm in the book. She's on the television.
I didn't think about that. Am I in the book? I think I am in the book. My goodness.
Okay, but I mean, I know that a lot of my neighbors in Brunswick, Ohio, were, boy, they just. I mean, I still today, right before I came here today, I was actually talking to the person across the street from my old house on Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's. Now tell us some of the healings that you've been working with. I mean, when we say healings, I would say the body becoming more imbalanced for somebody. You know, so I know from my personal experience, being 9, 10 years cancer-free is a big deal.
Yes.
And I want to share really quickly. The year after I was diagnosed with breast cancer and refused the chemotherapy and went through radiation, they thought I had ovarian cancer. Now, at that point, it was my left ovary, and the blood test or the blood work came back, possible cancer, we're not sure. So the oncologist said, okay, we got to go in. And we're going to go in, and we're going to see what you got.
Wow.
And if it's cancer, take it out, we'll biopsy, see if it's cancer. And if it's cancer, they weren't going to go much further.
You talk like this, but at the time, when you were going through this, how did you feel?
Oh, I was scared poopless.
Poopless, friendly, like, do I have a friend here? Who can I talk to?
And I
where
would
do
call
I go?
her.
No, maybe, who do you go? Where do you go?
It's very scary because I felt at that point that, what was the next step?
Mm-hmm.
But the point, the reason I even brought this story in is because when he went in and he looked at the ovary, it was completely encapsulated, he said. And they tested it. It was not cancerous, but he said 90% of these types of cysts that I had turn into cancer. So he said it was a good thing we got it. And he said, but it's very funny. He said it was completely encapsulated. He said, had it turned to cancer, it never would have spread to the rest of my body, the rest of my organs. And he said, that was very odd. And he said it was the first time he had seen that. And I asked him, I said, well, do you think it's all the herbs that I'm taking? And he looked at me and he goes, well, I can't really say that, but he said, don't stop. Yeah. Don't stop. Whatever you do, whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it. And to me, that was the best I was going to get out of someone to say, what you're doing, it's working and it's good. My body had naturally encapsulated a potential cancer in my body and sealed it off and was going to make sure it was not going to spread to the rest of my body. So I was greatly impressed. And so, again, I think I've made several phone calls to you for healing and everything. So let's say someone has an ailment or they just don't feel good. They come to you. What with the assessment you do is maybe some muscle testing, some iridology. You do a lot of background checking and finding out some symptoms.
We get some background.
But you're not a doctor, so we're not doctors. We're not diagnosing.
In fact, one of my first questions will be, have you seen a doctor? Because there is some medical training. So I will ask, have you seen a doctor? Okay. Have you? How do you know you have this diagnosis that you're coming to? Okay. How do you know this? You just can't walk in and say, boy, I have this. I need an herb. Okay.
It's not like a medicine cabinet. You're not going to go to the herbalist and go, I have a headache, give me an herb for this. Yeah.
So you have to know. You've got to have some background here. And then we'll go from there. Well, what do you want to do about it? How fast, what do you do? How do you live? What's your stress level? Can you relax? What's your job like? There's a lot. There's a lot in a visit. But you will actually come away. Oh, another thing that I really like to find out is your blood type. I read a lot about the blood types and understand about things that make your blood tick and make yourself well fast. So we really want to know a lot about you.
A lot of personal questions.
A lot of personal questions. But and do you feel comfortable with muscle testing? I'll tell you what it's about. I will say that I've taken many courses and I'm not a certified iridologist, but I, can look into your eyes and tell you if you're in trouble.
Okay.
But
Well,
there's
so
some,
I come to
some
so I
things.
come to an herbalist,
Mm-hmm.
or can I pick up a book?
Yes, yes. A lot of what I will talk to you about will be coming out of a lot of books, and books that you can go and get yourself. Books like this, Nutritional Healing by Dr. Balch and his wife. A lot of things. I use a lot of aromatherapy, essential oils, and just like these plants that are here today. These are here to make our set nicer, but we have some basil and we have some rosemary. We have some succulents. This is another type of oregano. Okay, these aren't just used for cooking in a lot of Mexican and Cuban dishes, but you use them to heal. And you can eat these, and you can cook with these. And these are things that you could come to me, and I'd say, on top of going for some relaxation techniques, or going and making your, just getting a lot of stress out of your life, let's talk about the use of plant material. So there's a lot of options when you see an herbalist. They aren't somebody that you should go and they should say, oh no, you're going to take this, this, and this. Well, why am I taking this? How long, and what is it going to do for me?
And that's the next question I was going to ask you. How long does it take to get healthy if you start an herbal program? What does a person expect when they go in? Is it 1 year, 2 years? Is it 6 months? Is it next week? Do I feel better when I start an herbal program?
We used to have a rule that herbalists were taught that you would be on a program or a certain amount of betterment, whatever you're going to do, a whole bunch of things. You would do it for 1 month for every year that you've have this dis-ease, okay?
Okay.
Along with keeping up with your doctor visits, keeping up with of your life patterns, okay? But things have evolved, and this is another thing in understanding herbal treatments. Just like everything else has evolved, so has herbals, and so has supplementation, and so has I said intuitives. All right, we have evolved. We have kept up with the world, and now it's sooner. So you should see a difference, or a little bit of a difference, within 4 weeks. Well, that'd be 1 month, but then the program could be altered. But you want somebody that is practicing. That kind of separates us from the people that are selling it in the stores, as to a person that is practicing it in their home or for their neighbors and their friends.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Absolutely. So, finding. So if I'm the average person, though, might be don't know really how to get hold of an herbalist, so they may end up going to a health food store. Mm-hmm. What would you recommend someone who's just getting started? Really, the first step they should do. They say, I want to go to a health food store. I want to get healthy.
I just want to be healthy. Boy, can I have some of those?
I just want to be healthy.
Can somebody call me about that?
Just want to be healthy.
I was going to say, a lot of people come to me when they're at the opposite end of their health. They've been to the doctor. They've either been chemo or radiated, and now they want to try to improve their health. I think there's hope for everybody. I would never turn anyone away. But if someone just wants to start and just said, this year I really want to be healthier, I would say a consultation. And where would we start? What would you like to do? It's up to you, okay? You come to me and you use me for information.
Okay, so an herbalist.
But come and see an herbalist.
An herbalist. So we can, basically, is there, the phone book then? Is
phone
the best
book.
way? Okay.
Phone book, word of mouth.
I'm beeping.
We're beeping.
Well, I just got done beeping, and it's time, I guess I'm done. The timer went off, and so now I'm going to go ahead and get my feet out of it, and you can take a look. Judy's going to assess my toxins now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to assess how toxic I am.
Okay. So, grab one foot here. And that's actually part of the the foot bath is a nice foot rub after you're done. Let's see. Oh, she still has 5 toes. We're all good to go. Okay. All right. Now if you want to hand me the other one, we'll just...
Oops. Here we go.
We're just going to close it. All right.
Yeah, I'm just tripping all over.
Here. That's all right.
Well, I would say that it felt refreshing. I didn't feel anything electrical or didn't feel any weird sensations at all. I still feel very conscious. I didn't go unconscious. I didn't lose anything here. It seems like I feel pretty good, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I actually feel pretty
I haven't lost one yet. Darn. No,
so
not darn.
I would have to say that when you have a foot bath, you're really not going to feel physically, disturbed in any way. It feels like it just felt a very, very cooling process. So
Still feels good. What we're seeing in here is...
It looks bad. Looks like yellow
not really.
Doggy pee or
just,
something.
Yeah, the amber color does say that, you've got liver and kidney going on here, okay? There's a lot of floaties. And they will actually settle to the bottom, and then you can actually see, and that's just some mass that's pulled out. But that is just everyday toxins, breathing air, drinking water, things you eat. Stress. I actually call a lot of this stress matter. So it's like a yellow kind. It's like a reddish kind of. It looks cloudy, like reddish, cloudy stuff. Right. And that's everyday toxins. Everyday toxins. If there was some foam or some black things, there are a little from the liver there, but
now, what do you know from my liver? How do you know
the little black,
Oh, the black stuff would be liver.
The black would be liver. But a lot of lymph, because you need your lymph to be clean, and that's really what a lot of this does. And just a simple, while we're talking about the lymph, just simple. Hello, Elizabeth.
Just getting friendly with me.
But just this movement, very, very nice. And just up your arms, okay? Because your lymph is in here and your lymph is here. Just those little bit of movements where you rub yourself like this helps to move your lymph, because lymph goes up and down. But this is see, it's starting to settle at the bottom, and this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel, actually feel maybe a little lighter, I guess. Maybe would be the way I would explain the way I feel. But
yeah.
My feet feel really marvelous, though. I feel like I could, it felt good.
That felt good.
So if all in all, it's, now how many foot baths would one do in order to really detox their body? Like if I had...
I would probably... With that many floaties, I'd probably have you come back for once a month, maybe 3 foot baths.
Okay, so 3 foot baths, and then would that get clearer then? Would it be nice and clear?
Yes, you would have less floaties. It would be clearer. Now remember the amber color. We be truthful here. That it would be just like a very, very light amber color is the natural color of the water.